Hey team, Greg and John Lentz here, Red Dogg Rae Rae. We decided to put together a podcast after our little commentary experience together. We got a lot of good feedback. We're super stoked to have our first guest, none other than the founder of Checkmat, ADCC 2-times champion, under 66, KG, world champion, absolute legend of a guy. It's one of the nicest guys in Jiu-Jitsu. They call him Yoda, Leo Vieira. Welcome, Leo.
You were talking about earlier, because you were a founder of like Nogi in Brazil at the time, mate, first sort of wanted to get out there and do it, you know, like compared to everybody else doing the gi. Is this something, so what made you want to do that? Because you were talking about it earlier, right?
Yeah. You know, like Jiu-Jitsu, Brazil culture is a lot of gi, and so much. I think because of the beginning of the sport, that luta livre was a very no-gi style. So there are big rivalry between luta livre and Jiu-Jitsu.
Don't luta livre do gi at all?
Luta livre is no gi, just pants. They have a belt, gi pants, but no top.
So it was like sambo for Jiu-Jitsu. So they just went against the grain. So they went the pants opposite to sambo. So they created their own version that was no gi shirt and
So I think maybe I started Jiu-Jitsu was at 8 years old, so I don't really know. But I think this maybe the fact that people in Jiu-Jitsu, they want to just train with gi. So when the DCC starts and they become popular, was just by invitation. There are no trials, but there was an invitation like the best in the sports, different sports, and they made and flying everybody to Abu Dhabi to fight in one big tournament, you know, and super nice and fancy thing that we never expect. Flying nice flights, you know, like giving like a lot of gifts, staying like a 5-star hotel,
something
like
unheard
buffet,
of. What is this?
You know, Jiu-Jitsu used to compete in the parking lot. You know, like
so it was real rough.
Yeah,
so you got
at the beach, it's just scrapping at the beach.
And sometimes the open weather. So it rains, everybody get out, start inside the car, and the rain finish back. Okay, who's the mat one? Okay, you and the mat. So they it was very.
I lift the mats up or put the mats back down.
No,
just let it get wet.
They cover the mats with a big like a vinyl.
Oh, that's crazy.
And everybody get inside the car in the parking lot and wait. And then okay, come back, let's go. Yeah. So
was that all belts or was that just the start? Was that like one division like all belts or was that?
No, that's only the whole tournament before in like some tournaments like that. Some tournament that was indoor, but it was
that's crazy.
It was not so much.
This sounds like something we should start up again. Car park jiu-jitsu.
Do you know the crazy? I had a story. I used to train with a guy back in the day, and I bumped into his friend, and he's like, he's talking to me about jiu-jitsu. He goes, mate, he doesn't. You guys don't train when it rains. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, it just doesn't go when it rains. I was like, what do you mean? So he used to tell his friend that we didn't train when it rained. I was like, well, there's a roof. What do you mean? Well, you're actually training in the rain, competing in the rain.
And the thing like was a open weather. Sometimes it was so hot because in Brazil is Rio de Janeiro is so hot, so hot that you barely can walk. So they have to stop and they spray water in the mats. The mats was not those mats like in the rubber.
They're like those hard rubber mats.
With the rice.
Yeah, the rice.
They sprayed water to get a little bit.
Oh, you begin to those burns all over you. Be like, make it worse. Oh no.
That's probably why they didn't want to do nogi. They wanted to be dressed.
That's what they didn't want to do nogi.
Nogi's gonna be like no skin.
Oh, that's absolutely crazy. Yeah, and like. When was that? Like, what stage was that?
I was a blue belt 15, 16. So like, about like in 80s to 90s. Like until 90s.
Yeah, that was like, was that like the start of the competition?
Yes. Yeah. Later, but later we start have like a lot of competitions, all the tournaments, be a nice place, and then more popular.
Just get bigger and bigger, right?
But ADCC brought a new perspective of the sport. So we never thought we want to fight nogi, but the cash, the $10,000, in 2000 was a lot of money. It's still a lot of money now. People still fight for the same price. They never change the price, you know. But
for sure.
but imagine it when in 2000 it was a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
So
especially because
yeah.
Reels would
So
have been
then
nothing.
I was one of the first. I fought in 2000. I fought in 2001, and that's when when I opened my gym. When I have my gym, my team, my competition team, I realized that one day this sport will be popular. And I told I said, look guys, let's do no gi. Everybody doesn't want to do no gi. Say no, like we only compete gi. I know no gi. So I tried to schedule some class no gi. Nobody showing up.
Was that your school in
Yeah.
Sao Paulo?
That was already São Paulo.
Yeah.
And then I say, okay, you know, that was in 2005, 2005.
So we were still
2006.
Alliance then?
No, we was already broken.
Were we
was-
Brazil at the time?
Galvão was training with us that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Robert Drysdale, my
Yeah,
team
yeah.
was.
So whereabouts in
yeah.
Sao Paulo was it? Because I went and trained at the old TT.
Yeah, it was we was in,
Italians.
this time we was in because the TT in the beginning of TT Tallies and Terere,
Yeah.
so it was part of Brasa.
Yeah,
That was right when we break with Alliance.
yeah.
So they open
They're on,
TT,
yeah.
but we became Brasa.
Yeah.
So we was all the team together.
Yeah.
So we
That would have
run.
been a time. That would have been a good
Yes.
time.
So then we have all the team together.
Hard training.
Right. So that's that. And
So who was it? So you had Rob Drysdale, yourself.
Robert Drysdale, Galvão, Mendes was a blue belt. They was just a kids, you know, they were blue belts coming from Ramon. They used to Ramon live in São Paulo, so they was training with us.
What's Ramon like? Is he really good? I've heard he was real good things.
Yeah, he was very good,
Yeah.
very talented,
Yeah.
and he's like a very good coach, a very you know, strategy. He's very detailed. Very detailed.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
And the thing is but nobody wants to do no-gi. And then I was saying, and then I changed my competition training. Everybody was mandatory training 12 to 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Half class, I say, okay, guys, now no gi. Everybody take it out the gi. And they complain, but they cannot say no. They cannot say, oh, I have to leave home early. So then I force everybody training no gi. And then the guys start getting used to it. Then we building, and then my team started. I see like the team changing with gi. A lot of people getting no gi. Then we have people fighting no MMA. So that's the team grows a lot. You know, in different lines.
And was there like back then? Were people doing heel hooks and stuff in your gym back then? That washing machine. This is a makeshift podcast, guys. Freestyle. It's fine. The washing machine plays a song. If you can hear it in the background, we had to buy a 10 kg loader for all our geese. So
they killed the washing machine.
The last one.
That's
sounded
why that's what you do. The real life.
Yeah.
We need a sponsor for it.
Well, no, that's a brand new one. That's an updated.
Yeah.
The last one, honestly, you could hear it down the street. Sounded washed so many geese. Yeah, it was sounded like a plane was. You couldn't talk. It was so loud. It was absolutely hammered. Okay, but yeah, so you.
Yeah, but just answer the question right now. Like, so I knew it that one day this sport would be popular. I knew it because the way the sport was going to. Yeah. So and then I forced them to train in gi and no gi, and then when Abu Dhabi ADCC opened for trials, my athletes was way ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
that was when we fought in 2007.
Yeah.
2007. So that was we could see our feedback because our athletes crush people in the trials, and then we went to the competition. So I took second place in 6 division. We had Galvão and Popovic. Second and third place in 7 division. Damian Maia, he won 80 division.
Damian Maia was part of
Damian Maia. Yeah, Damian Maia trained with us.
That's the craziest team, yeah.
I was a white belt.
Jeez, a bunch of killers, eh?
Yeah.
Imagine that's in a quintet with these guys.
Justice League coming out.
I'm old.
They're expendables, man.
I have been this for a longer time.
Oh, yeah.
And then Drysdale took third place in his division.
Yeah.
And in the open class, Drysdale wins, and Galvão was third place. Mm-hmm. But that was one of the best team performance all time.
Yeah.
So, but the reason why, because we start doing no-gi when people.
Yeah, way before it was cool.
Yes.
It's only really taken off now.
So we was doing a lot of food. If you watch those my guys doing it, like Galvão was fighting with a lot of wrestler. He was like doing a lot of like hooks. They like here lifting and foot locks. A lot of hooks.
Yeah.
Getting under them.
Yes.
That's
The
cool.
only problem, like people jiu-jitsu stop a little bit, was because those guys they fighting 80% of his like no-gi is only one competition every 2 years. So we training with Fox more and gi, right?
Yeah.
Competition.
Yeah, world
So then
championships every
even
year.
when when you use heel hooks, it's only allowed once every 2 years. So it didn't focus that much in this speciality. And the IBJF in those low gi tournaments was not allowed.
So in IBJJF, did they start off gi and then they end up doing no gi later on, or did it come in at the same time? Did they do gi and no gi when it first started, when you competed?
No, it was everything with gi.
Yeah.
So and then I think they saw the ADCC was getting popular. They push no gi for their own loose athletes to push.
And make money.
But the thing is, like they used to have like a knee bar, a lot of foot locks for even lower belts. But they noticed that there is a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, because you used to be able to rape and all that sort of stuff.
So then they stopped. They changed the rules. You know, and I think that was on the mistake because they make even like a pop belt.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. What were we talking about? Okay, yeah, ADCC. One thing I wanted to ask you, Leo, was about ADCC. Two things actually. So was the first thing was, I remember in one of your videos you said you fought on a broken leg. Did you have a broken foot?
It was my foot.
Your foot was broken. What was that from?
It was training with Damian Maia. So it was training them. He was taking me down.
Yeah.
My foot got stuck, and then like we fall over my leg, and then I dislocate my ankle, and I have and break some of the bones over here that was dislocated. Like
Jesus,
was bad. Like and I kick him. I remember that I kick him, and then my foot was, and I put myself the foot because I was so worried. I saw my foot cropping right to the side, and I bring back, and then I feel like a plunk. Bring it to the side of ice. I went to the hospital.
Was that like just before the comp?
Was a 1 month and 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it was still broken. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I was so I like doctor like said like I need like 2 weeks without putting my foot on the ground.
Yeah.
And then like a couple more weeks to recover. So usually like a 3 months to recover ligaments and a lot of that was.
And that's the one. This is the first time you won, yeah.
That was the first time.
The first
no,
one.
that was second.
The second time.
That was second one.
So the first time was
2003 Brazil.
Yeah, it was that. So I was talking with Glenn about this, about your wife. She told me right after Eddie Bravo beat Hoyler, he actually come backstage, back behind the scenes and talked to you and said that you have to keep this in Brazil, or something like that. What was that like, and what was like the actual words that he said to you?
No, well, like I was expecting fight with Hoyler, right? So I didn't thought that would happen, and then when that happened, so I back to my locker room to be putting myself in the because right now my emotional was like. Was like a confused, like I was like trying to focus because of my opponent would be Ed Bravo. So and then Hoyler, Hélio Gracie, like a lot of Gracie, all the Gracie family, they came to my locker room to talk to me, right? So and we was sharing the same locker room, so they went there. So that was nice. They came. Hoyler came talk to me and say, "Hey, Leo, bro, like he showed me some kind of position, like the position that Eddie Bravo used to do, and he said, look, be careful with this. So playing this game now, I say, oh, thanks. Like I already have my strategy to be fighting outside. So I already have my strategy, but I'm gonna I'll keep my eyes on in this situation, right? And he said like a lot, but keep this tight and because right now I was one of the only one that. because the other side of the bracket, so the Brazilian guy was there. He lost in the semifinal. So and I was the only one that Brazilian said, just keep this title in Brazil. We cannot lose in Brazil, right? We cannot lose in Brazil. And that's curious,
pride.
you know. Yeah, like, I don't care about the part of Brazil. I want to win because I want to win. The thing is, like, for me, always I want to compete in 6'6". They never allowed me.
Yeah.
So my first 2 Abu Dhabi was they invited me to fight in 7'7" division. Even when I was a light and say no, I want to go 6'6", say no. There are political reasons that you cannot fight. I said okay. So they pay me to fight under 7'7" kid, which is say okay, fine. I just want, in the end I want the money. I don't care about, I can fight any division, right? So, but this time like they allow me to fight 6'6". So. And then I want to fight because that's my
your division. That's your division.
So, so then I back and then I win. I beat Ed Bravo. I went to the final.
Fought Shaolin and then
the final was the Hawaiian kid. Hawaiian guy.
BJP? No, was he? No, he was.
No, he wasn't.
No, he's a Japanese and he oh my god, he came out Hall of Fame right now. I'm pretty bad with names, bro. Like, but he's he does a lot of crucifix. I forget his name right now.
That's fine.
He had to fight him in the final.
But he did a lot of finals. The finals before he was he made the finals with Hoyler. So he always in the final. Like very flexible, a lot of heel hooks and foot locks, like nasty arm bars, very aggressive game, you know. And then like we make the final and was but my game was pretty good to fight in this division, 6'6" division. I always feel very confident. And I was at top of my shape. I was like at 20 something years. So
young, full of energy. Because when you fought that your lightweight world champion in IBJJF, was it lightweight you fought at 76?
Yeah, I fought that. I never really have one division. I fought featherweight, lightweight.
You fought Mark Kerr, you fought Chael Sonnen. That fight was he messed around. He didn't want to play the game, did he? You know, like
there was like, you know, that like the fight was for him. They want to get more people
advertising.
So they invite me to like a couple weeks. 2 weeks before they call me to that fight. So
what was Chael like in real life? Was he not a super nice dude? After you met with him, hung out with him?
He's nice.
Is this the like?
What weight?
He's a lot bigger than you.
He's
probably 100 kg.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I was like, Jesus.
I'm a special sauce.
He looks
good though.
It was just like a super fight. It was just super fight. And later, like he fought. He ended up like he made the super fight with me, and then he fought later in the division, the open class. He fought with, I think it was Craig Jones. He lost for Craig Jones.
Because and Craig was drinking. They're like, you want to have another fight, and then he shot out.
Was he drinking?
Yeah, he was having a beer at the bar, and then he's like, you better go out and do the absolute.
That's classic.
Oh, so you were there? Oh, yeah, that ADCC. Because he was out there, for a show 8, because he was promoting like his. Chael Sonnen
was that a last moment thing, that Chael Sonnen fight? Because you were supposed to put someone else.
It was just like they
just put something together. I'll fight him. I'll just do it.
Because I think like he was over there to promote the ADCC, to bring, you know, like promote. And he's a very like a good like a talk guy.
He seems like a cool dude, you know. I find
he's wild man.
And he does talk a lot of truth, you know. Like he's
so he was promoting, bringing like a different athletes from, especially for MMA, for enjoy the no gi, not be just like jiu-jitsu as before.
So do you see jiu-jitsu gi or no gi? What do you see like for the future? You've been around a long time. Do you see them growing separately or growing together? How do you like see what the future looks like? What's your idea for the future?
You know, like I think like would be like a lot of different organizations going to put in different rules. You know, I don't think we're gonna be the same as a jiu-jitsu. I think we have IBJJF, which is the main tournament with jiu-jitsu, but there is a lot of federation that call jiu-jitsu, and there are different rules.
Yeah.
I think no-gi is gonna be the same thing. We're gonna have a lot of no-gi competitions with a lot of different rules.
Yeah.
Some be focusing in super fights and like a very performance athletes. Some others perform like in beginners and giving like a experience to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I think I think that's the way I see.
Yeah,
So I work for one championship. So we be promoting a lot of no-gi, a lot of grappling.
Yeah.
Because of one championship.
Yeah.
You've got heaps of good fighters on there, don't you? You've got heaps of the Rotolo twins.
Yes.
You've got Mikey.
So we're talking about this
Tommy
earlier.
Langega.
Leo's organising. You're organising all the fights, or
Yes.
Just
So
signing
my
people,
position is vice president of grappling.
Yeah.
In one championship.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing, I'm organizing the whole like program as a grappling program.
Yeah,
of
like
the
competition.
rules,
Yeah.
competition.
Okay.
But the challenge, the idea we have right now, we're gonna run trials around the world,
Yeah.
and those trial and the finalists of those trials gonna go to one big show.
Yeah.
And with the winner of those divisions, we're gonna have 5 divisions. The winners of those divisions, they're gonna sign a contract with 100K contract.
Same sort of divisions as ADCC.
We have a 135,
Yeah.
145, 170, 185,
Yeah.
and probably we're gonna add like a 205.
Yeah, at a heavyweight.
So the money just where the money goes is where the people go up.
Yeah,
Where the
yeah.
money goes, it's
Yeah, if you can make more money in the
yeah.
sport, I guess you could. You know, people want to make money. People don't want to be
And-
like
Poor and
poor
struggling.
on the bones of their butts. You know.
Not competing in car parks anymore.
No, no.
Right?
No, not competing on the street in the car park.
Street-
Yeah.
street
Having
fight.
breaks when it rains. You know.
Street fight.
No, nobody. That's why I said we don't want to come back. We don't want to back to fight in the
No,
parking
no,
lot,
no.
bro. Like you have
Yeah.
to go. You know, that's the stage you want to hit. You know, like you want to fight in like a big show, one championship. Like you share like our athletes in grappling. We just had like the Cade competing, Cade fighting. So common event as a MMA show.
Yeah.
So like the stats that we have in one championship, it's big.
Yeah.
You see a lot of organization making tournaments now. Even UFC doing like a grappling
Yeah.
tournament, but nobody giving the spot that one championship gives. Like
Yeah.
the athletes have their own totally different show.
Yeah.
Totally different product.
Yeah.
Like in one championship, our athletes fight in the same stage. They
Yeah.
fight the same stage, they have the same benefit, they have the same status, they treat it the same way. There's no difference between one martial artist to the other one. So
That's
cool.
good. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's quite cool the way they've done it, and they have all the martial arts in it, and they're trying to grow them all as a whole martial art. You know, not just one sport or
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
because there's a lot of specialists out there in one sport. Like the Muay Thai is amazing. You
They
know,
have good strikers. One championship's got like elite level strikers. Like
yeah, it's got the best. It's got the best of everyone now, really, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah, Chatri, he's very visionary, man. Like he's he's very fair, and he does like you like I before I don't like MMA like
Yeah.
so much because of working jiu-jitsu and working the school. A lot of MMA inside the gym was bringing an environment.
Yeah,
that
different
I-
vibe,
that I
eh?
don't want.
they're like,
I didn't want.
they're
they
all
wanna
trying to
kill
pretend
each
to
other.
punch
And
each other.
jiu-jitsu is so
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
It's so family.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you make more money teaching jiu-jitsu than teaching MMA.
Yeah.
So, but at one point that I
kill you,
want,
yeah.
that was something that I changed my mind in one championship was that like it's a big rivalry, it's a big rival, but they so respect.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
It's changed a
And-
lot these days.
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah,
it?
but but you see like the mentality over the leadership and also the company. It's not to sell like the drama, it sells stories. Like they take you and gonna say, oh, that's, and then let's tell Greg's story and say how you start jiu-jitsu or what's the reason you became a martial artist. Let's make him let's
Build his
give it a
character,
reason,
sort
build
of
his
thing.
character,
Yeah.
and then like with this, we're gonna have more people in their country,
Yeah,
working
follow.
training to be like him, with And that's like he wants to like one championship that tells story, they count the people's stories. That's nice. I think that's and all about respect. So they very confident. They will calling people fighting. I want to fight, but they know you're not gonna see people to respect others.
So are you just like looking for people like yourself? Are you watching people that like you think would be good for the show, or you know who you want on there?
We look like we look like his style.
Yeah.
How in his submission.
Yeah.
Submission rates.
Oh, yes.
Like he's a world champion. How many he submit? Nobody.
Yeah.
We don't
it's gonna be exciting, eh?
Yes, we want those guys that like they want to perform. Because that's the challenge with a grappling side one. Yeah. Because we have MMA, very dynamic, 5-minute round, punching, kicks, taking down. Then you have a Muay Thai, super speed, 3-minute round, bro. Like it's unbelievable how those guys they throw punches and kick. You know, and then you have kickboxing, very similar.
You guys keep talking. I'll go ahead.
The challenge I have is like introduce jiu-jitsu to strike fence.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I suppose that's why you get the commentators, because I did a event in Timaru, and they were saying that the MMA and the kickbox is all good. That people get hyped up, but when it came to grappling, it was like they didn't know what was going on, so everybody's going quiet. So we went in there to try and talk to hype it up a bit, because it's that people watch it and they don't understand because they see people punching each other. But then when it comes to grappling, they're like,
and then I tell everybody like I have to build the rules that make people that are fans understand. Because if you're a grappler, you understand. You appreciate like the close guard. You appreciate the stalling move because you know something changed. So both are fighting, both are thinking. So sometimes not moving, but both are thinking something, and anything can change. You appreciate and you understand. But the people that fan that doesn't do grappling, they're gonna look and they get boring. So my challenge is like, how can I make the grappling not lose the magic of the grappling, but be entertainment, you know? And because everybody used to see striking, I have to come up with the rules. I have to come up with the athletes that I choose to fight, to understand, and they want to perform. They want to give their best, you know, not just win, but a performance. So I make a jokes. I said like, US. I say, look, my challenge is introduce football. They call soccer to NBA fans. Because basketball is so fast. You know, points. It's so fast, and soccer. Football, it's 40 minutes, one round, you know, like one time.
They could go the whole way on the field and then boot it back.
Sometimes the game is 0-0, but such a nice game because there was a lot of action. But people from NBA fans, they're not gonna like it. They would look football too long, too boring. So I have to make something be nice and they appreciate. But we have we had a lot of good feedback. That's good. So a lot of good feedback from the Amazon or from the people supporting. the numbers show for yourself. Otherwise, you're not gonna be as a co-main event. You know?
Yeah, because you had Sambo, you had the best guy in Sambo versus Mikey, the best guy in Jiu-Jitsu. They fought each other, right?
Yeah.
And which was,
Mikey, the guy Mikey wrecked his leg.
Yeah, Mikey blew his knee to bits. So he just had his knee, and then the old mate was just like trying to kick out of it, and that was
unbelievable. I couldn't believe how the guy could not tap. And he was trying to get out from the wrong way. I said, "Oh my God!" Like I couldn't see it. Even Michael say I was feeling like it ripping, And that's why I talk. I said, "Bro, like that, why don't you let go and change the strategy?" I told him, I said, "Look, if you go to somebody's foot and you break his foot, they're not gonna tap.
Yeah.
Take it back, do something else."
Yeah, the Russian mentality is pretty tough, isn't it? The Russian fellow.
Because I even heard that. I've heard that before. Like even Giles did ADCC trials in Kyrgyzstan, and he reckons he just got a guy's heel, putting it on, and then they looked and they're like, "Is he going to tap?" And then he's like, "He's not going to tap," so he just snapped it.
Yeah.
And then old mate's back a few months later. I don't know what he'd been taking, and he's right back competing again a few months later. You're like, Jesus, you know, but that mentality up there.
That kid, he's getting back. He's going to come back right now after 1 year. You know?
And so he's going to fight again in the one championship.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he will fight. Soon he's going to be fighting. I just started getting him notice. He's texting about like looking for a fight.
Jesus.
And it's massive there in Singapore at the moment. Is it quite like Japan? You know how Japan had pride and all the Japanese love it. Do the Singaporeans love it as well? Is it the sort of thing?
Yes. Like very popular. We have a lot of locals. I have a lot of like Singaporean like athletes. We have Japanese. Like it's a very demographic. We have a lot of others from everywhere. So that's cool. That's really
cool.
good.
That's
and
cool.
this open also market for we're gonna have two shows in USA this year.
Yeah.
But they open like for different market in Asia, but they plans to go to Europe, you know, like they also to come here to
Australia,
Australia. They've been talking about
make it more
Australia.
international.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be good. Like New Zealand, it's a bit behind in the jiu-jitsu competition times. There's a lot of like people don't want to do gi. Some people don't want to do no gi sub only. Some people want to only do sub only. Some people don't like the rules. We have a problem with a lot of people don't understand IBJJF rules. So there's not a lot of IBJJF competitions here, because I think that's why they have a lot of sports jiu-jitsu and then or just submission only because. And a lot of the black belts don't want to referee. They just like they like to complain that the referees don't know the rules, but they don't want to ref themselves. So I think what's your advice for like helping grow the sport of competition? You know, here.
Yeah, they don't pay them, mate. That's what I always say. I always tell students like don't abuse the referee because usually they're volunteering. They're not even getting paid to be there. So if you're going to yell at them, like, there's no point. They're doing it, trying to help out.
The coaches are volunteering.
This is some of the points, you know. I think it's a referee. It's such a unfair. You had a lot of responsibility.
Oh yeah.
And it not appreciated.
Yeah.
Because even the competition doesn't pay that much. Yeah. A lot of the guys volunteer to build something.
Yeah, all of them.
But the parents, the coach, they yelling this guy.
Yeah,
man, it's tough, you know, be a referee, you know. So I understand the position, but I really believe that you must the way you grow sports, it's a competition.
Yeah, just put
how many number of competition you have. So more tournament you have, it's more popular. That sport's gonna be right. Also, and then the competition must invest in the referees. And sometimes they want to invest in athletes, but you forget to invest in referees. So good referees make a good shows, you know. So it's the organization that you can do it. That's good. Like if you have sometimes it doesn't have to be something bigger, you know, you don't have to be starting the parking lot also.
No. We're going to go to this parking lot stuff. We're going to go back to this parking lot stuff.
There could be some jiu-jitsu because they do that backyard scraps in the backyard.
Backyard YouTube scraps. Is there anyone you fought that's still black belt now? Anyone famous that you fought in the backyard car park scraps?
Yes. No, Shaolin, all those guys.
All those guys. Everyone was there back in the day.
It was back in the time, color belts, yellow belts, and they were
just going for it. Oh, was there a lot of spectators? It was people drinking.
Of course.
It's Brazil, right?
Brazil.
People selling
Brazil.
Have a wee chili bin, esky, selling their drinks.
Hot dogs and beer. Watching, and they throw a big. That's the problem. People doesn't want to do back in the time. They want to see jiu-jitsu. And jiu-jitsu in their mind was about they want to see a classic taking down, pass, sweep, submission from the mount, submission from the back.
Yeah.
If you try footlock, they thought it was dirty. It was he don't know how pass got. Jump into the footlock. Oh, he doesn't know how to. He doesn't have a technique enough. It has to be using dirty moves. So people throwing hot dogs and drinking, throwing shoes on you if you fight.
Get a hot dog in the face while you're rolling.
That could be a new
Go for a foot locker and get a hot dog.
That could be a real
really throwing things.
It sounds like a rodeo sort of.
I reckon that's how we get people more involved in the sport. You let them throw stuff, but not too much. You know what I mean? Like
The foot lock in jiu-jitsu change when cumprido submit roleta. 30 seconds. Well, I think it was the fastest submission in the open class finals. 30 seconds. Roleta pull guard. Cumprido get like a toe hold. He submit. After that, everybody was
he can do it fast.
So there is you just need a young guy. Change the whole sport. Became popular. Doing something. Then everybody now you have to do this. So everybody was practicing sometime, but nobody tried because they don't want their reputations to be the the dirty game.
He risked it and he got the risk it up.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that would have been a crazy time. Leo was telling me earlier, Leo. Ricardo started in. Did he start capoeira first?
Capoeira,
Leo's brother. Did he start capoeira before jiu-jitsu or?
No, it's jiu-jitsu first. Capoeira came as
Ricardo's really good at capoeira, really good, high level capoeira. And Leo was saying he only did a little bit of capoeira so he could get close to them and just double leap people.
True. Yeah, my capoeira was just with my friends when we go to this in the street. It was just like a. And then cartwheel for one side, cartwheel for the other side, and then double leg.
So, because the breakdance, you know how you go, like Eddie Bravo's boys, the two twins, they were like, or the brothers, they were breakdancers. Did the capoeira help you?
Yeah, no.
If you watch Ricardo,
capoeira is very good. Like, it gives you a lot of faster thinking because you cannot stop. So then you have to be the whole time moving. And then you have to work combinations and be even when you have a combination, you still have to make a change so much. It has to be fast, and sometimes it has to be fast as the opponent or fast as the music change, But it's like you used to say in the capoeira, you have to get in, you have to attack, escaping. You have to escape, attacking. So you never really you have to be hard to read the person. So as a jiu-jitsu, we because we play a lot of capoeira in the street, so when you go to the jiu-jitsu, I was bringing a lot of this speed, a lot of this cartwheel, a lot of this mentality to be fast in and out. That's why it's not my game. Jiu-jitsu used to be very clinch, very close, very tight, control. Mine was very outside. It was outside.
Yeah, you sort of changed the game a lot.
Going to both sides.
Yeah, you changed the game a lot. I
think in this generation, my generation.
Yeah, your generation, Tererê, all those guys.
Tererê was the next generation, right? With Tererê, my brother, they grew up the same. And then later was Dame and Marcelo Garcia. So there was, but my generation was me, Shaolin was the first generation that was bringing jiu-jitsu more
dynamic. Because you guys started younger, so I guess the generation before that was young, sort of thing.
Also, my style was a very outside, very space, back step, was more spinning, was more like.
Oh, you're a legend for the $46 million back take. That one there.
Rolling back take.
But no, also the
just didn't get that.
Your Ippon, you do the Ippon. Is it Ippon Seoinage and all the videos, all your highlights? You're really good at that underarm Ippon Seoinage.
I was practicing a lot of martial arts. Judo. I was doing judo. I was doing
wrestling at all. Was it no wrestling? Just
wrestling. We didn't have a strong wrestling in Brazil, but every time that I had opportunity to do wrestling, I was doing wrestling. So I had one of my coach. He was wrestling from Cuba. So then cool. I was training with him. So. I was condition training, so I was learning so much about but that's always already black belt. But as a blue, purple belt, brown belt, I was practicing judo once a week. I was doing boxing in the
Did you ever think you're gonna do MMA or anything? No.
I grew up doing jiu-jitsu for MMA. I thought the jiu-jitsu that you don't want to fight in the parking lot jiu-jitsu. So that's why I was doing boxing and jiu-jitsu. But then the sport get big. So ADCC opened opportunity to fight MMA, but my coach didn't let me fight MMA because they were saying like the offer was not good enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Shaolin was the one that picked my spot to fight MMA.
Yeah.
He became very big in MMA, fighting Japan.
Yeah.
And I was fighting super fight. I was doing no-gi, fighting a lot of no-gi super fights. And then I went to different direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Later, when they invited me to do MMA, I was making more money with this than this.
Yeah,
and then I didn't have any more. Like I said, nah, I'm fine.
You sort of don't know the direction you're going with martial arts. I mean, John talked about it. You open a gym and all of a sudden you've got all this stuff going on that you don't really... You've got control of it, but you don't have control of it. What's really happening? Like, I never knew I was going to be Checkmat. Never knew I was going to get my black belt from you, which I'm super honoured to be. And like, I find it's just the journey I went on. Like, people don't really understand a lot about the journey these days. You know, like jiu-jitsu's everywhere now. When I started, when John started, it wasn't everywhere. I had to travel the world. I never knew where I was going with it. I thought I wanted to do MMA, and then didn't really like getting punched in the face and concussed. So, you know, like I didn't like the concussion. I don't mind getting punched in the face, but I don't like the concussion.
Yeah, but I don't think nobody likes it, bro. Everybody.
Some people do. Some people get. They have
I didn't want it. But I
it.
also didn't like the attitude of the MMA guys. A lot of them, like I went to a couple of clubs, and when I moved to Australia, and they were like, you know, me and John are mates at the gym, and then we leave and we like talk shit about him. You know, I knocked him out, and I'm just like, I don't really like that. I want to like support my team, you know. So it's quite interesting how jiu-jitsu, like, it takes you on this crazy journey. You don't even know where you're going or going to end up. Like, like how I end up with Ricardo, I just like break his shower on the first day there, and then you know, we just laugh, and he just laughed. First day I met his brother, my plan was to just travel all over Brazil, South America. I was going to stay with my first coach, Johnny. But I went to Ricardo's gym, and like just the vibe there was something different. And yeah, I smashed his shower the first day. I'm having a shower, I whacked the shower head off while I'm having a shower, ripped the shower head out of the wall, break the tile. I'm thinking, oh shit, I just spoke like this 9 times. I just wrecked his shower on the first day. Then I go in there and I'm like, bro, I wrecked your shower. He just laughed, you know, he didn't even care, didn't even, like, he said, oh, just don't worry about it, you know, like, and I was like, this is the place. And then like, you know, and then from then on, I like really just like blessed to be part of that team, and just the journey I got on to get you here in my lounge, you know, with John, and just like have you here in New Zealand. Like, you never know where you're gonna end up going. You know?
It was crazy. Like I the same thing. Like I started jiu-jitsu, I thought it was kung fu. I never didn't know that was jiu-jitsu. And
some people still think it is kung fu.
I was so frustrated. 1 week I said, man, I didn't learn punches and kick. What's happening? Why those guys don't throw punches?
Yeah. When am I gonna levitate?
Yeah, like I said,
when am I gonna fly into the
Bruce
air?
Lee movies? Like I thought I was doing Bruce Lee movies, you know, like, and then like. And then I realized, say, okay, so I don't think this is kung fu, you know. And then like, but at the same time, I like it, you know. I like it because I saw, like, I didn't like it because of the way that I practice, but I like it because I see how efficient it is. So I was going to school, I get fight, and like I was always small for my group, and jiu-jitsu was helped me to control the damage, control person without damage somebody else. Because if I was from any striking, I would just throw punches and kicks. But jiu-jitsu, I couldn't control people with taking downs, like a very good controls. So there was I was not in trouble that I could be if it was a. So then I liked jiu-jitsu, but I didn't know that jiu-jitsu could be that big. I thought jiu-jitsu would be on my life when I was a purple belt. So I started working the same as my father does, like working the building. I was cleaning car, cleaning buildings. Portero. So
he works like the doorman of the buildings.
So that's where it started, because my father was a doorman for the building, and he knows Jacaré, because he was one of the he lives in the building. So my father, he opened a kids class, and he talked to my father, say, hey, why don't you take your kids to go train in jiu-jitsu?
So Jacaré was your coach?
Jacaré was my coach.
Jesus, Jacaré's a nasty human being. Well, he like, in a good way, he was horrible. Like, his jiu-jitsu was just nasty.
I think that's
different Jacaré.
The old Jacaré. This Jacaré trained with me. The Jacaré from Manaus. The Jacaré.
But Jacaré.
But that's the good. Like Jacaré, the reason, like Jacaré, my professor Romero, he was like educated in physical education. So he was very smart, like to break in jiu-jitsu as a beginning, amateur, like advanced, you know, and professional. So he make all the class with a lot of specific. He pushed us to train so much stand-ups. That's why I was not training judo, but I was very good in stand-ups because my professor was making me training stand-ups a lot. Yeah. So the fundamental of the Romero Jacaré used to put us to repeat training, make a lot of difference later for us.
Yeah. Right. And do you reckon the training's different now to what it was? Like, you know how people are lifting weights now and they're doing different things. Was it like that back when you guys were training, like together as a team, getting ready for all these competitions, or?
When I was training, it was specific training a lot. We mix training, specific training with some like run bikes or like weights, free weights, you know. But was more like jiu-jitsu. We have jiu-jitsu class, but not sparring. We sparring only once a week. But most of the training is specific training. A lot of specific training. A lot of training like only stand-ups, only guard, only siders, only mounts, So the whole week it was a lot of these specific training. Once or 2 times a week only sparring. Okay, today now go sparring. Start stand-up all the way until submission. So a lot of specific was part of so that's very fundamental to me too. So I work so much this.
So for specific positions, don't do the whole thing.
Yes, because you fix the game. You put so many people in situation that they're never gonna be. They're never gonna be like I'm never gonna mount in Buchecha when it's sparring. So, but in this specific training, I force Buchecha practice mount position. So that we break. That's part of our training. That I learned with my professor.
Yeah, that's the way Ricardo teaches. So I learned.
Yeah, that's a very fundamental to us. That was always like that. Yeah. But in conditional training, and especially nowadays, I tell my students, I say, look, if somebody beats you because they have a better technique, that technique that you doesn't know, that we don't know, my fault. Because I'm the coach. I should know his strategy. I should come up with a game. I should come up with strategy. I should come up with the technique that you know how to deal with. Yeah. But if you get tired, it's your mistake. Because I cannot run for you. So I don't teach conditional training. I say, don't expect me to make you be conditional training. Conditional training, you train outside. So get your personal conditional training because people, you know, like they like to one style, they like the other style. So find someone that you feel comfortable. Find some nutrition. Yeah. But jiu-jitsu techniques, it's me. So like we're gonna be one.
Yeah, you're not trying to be CrossFit. Teach them CrossFit, you know.
Yeah, before you used to be the same.
Not trying to teach them
be the best of fitness.
But before you used to be like that, right? So the professor make be everything. Like a mental coach, like
counselor.
Still a counselor. I think a lot of coaches are still a counselor. A lot of good coaches.
Well, fuck, you can counsel for me.
I'll counsel you.
If you counsel by me, it's a bit of a warrior. No, I made that joke.
No, you know what I'm saying. Like,
you
don't expect to be in that position either. Where like if you're a coach, like. You know, like when I started jiu-jitsu, I thought, well, that'd be a sick job to do, but you don't realise what's involved. Being a mental coach, being a physical coach, like helping people get in shape, all that comes into it. You know, you know, and it must be hard. Like, how do you feel like being the leader of one of the biggest teams in the world now, one of the best competition teams? Is that something that just comes to you easy? And you
I think it's something that laid in my hand that I didn't. Give it to somebody else.
Like part of the journey, you know?
But I embrace that way because when the alliance broke, and then I really feel that I have the responsibility to with people. A lot of people was looking at me to say, okay, what are you gonna do? Because
I'm coming with
what you gonna say? What are you gonna do? That's when I say, oh my God, like I could not throw to somebody else because I don't have nobody to throw their responsibility. So, and then I embrace the responsibility, but I study. I went to, I read, because I didn't have a leadership model that I can match. I couldn't say, the reason that I'm leaving one team because we don't agree with what they're doing. So, there's no leadership that I could say that, okay, let's match this So I'll be reading so much about leadership. I'll be looking to different sports, different organizations to find what kind of model that we can fit to the Checkmat. So the goals was like, became like what we are today. So it's a big organization, but a very like a friendly environment that people support each other, you know, and you have fun. Like
so cool,
So and the funny so the way that I copy, I was reading, and every time, that's for me personal, every time that I was struggling in my life with something, I had a problem to be asking people to what to do. Maybe because the position that I have, I was so high level in my position. Usually people expect me to answer, so I cannot make my questions to my students, right? So I don't have coach to ask. So usually when this situation like that, that I feel nobody can answer my questions, I start searching and reading, and I always started reading the Bible. So that's when I go through and find all my answers. And that's when I find what the model and the style that I want to copy. And I copy the way that exactly the way that like was Jesus teach the gospel for the 12 guys. Those 12 guys approaching and teach like the gospel for the whole world. You know? So I do this concept, the way they spread this, like the idea, the mentality, they spread the gospel. I say, okay, that's the way we should go. Because it's about take care of each other. It's about like a believe in something, you know, and make it together. And like but all about respecting and all about.
That's one of the greatest things about you. You're such a nice dude.
They're like okay, I'm not preaching. I'm not like but it's about let's put in jiu-jitsu in that, and then let's see how it is. So that was the way that would be spreading, like you know, using this kind of like philosophy, or like to embrace and spread like which is the right way, in my opinion, to do it.
So you were, you know, when you were saying you entered the ADCC and it was like you, Damien Meyer, Adrian Gaval, so you were the coach and you were with all these guys. So how did you train with those boys? Were you were in there in just specific training when you were getting ready with those guys? Same sort of, so you just like, let's work here.
We have a program that the competition will be here, so we break like so what we should be training over there. So we have to get amount of stand-up training back, like we know which is we have to be training, and also what the like individual has to be more as a homework, or you have to work in something specific. But all the training, the schedule, the week is changed. But we focus in one part of a stand-up or guard or sideways. You focus in one part of the game, but all specific, a lot of specific. Everyday drill, a lot of drills, a lot of specific, but it's a very strong specific, you know. And then and long training, So
I hate to cut it short, but we're gonna go train, Leo, and we're gonna go train in a second. Sorry, it's a short podcast or whatever this is today, you know, a bit of fun, three mates just yarning, talking shit, you know, dogs causing trouble in the background.
Dog ticks.
Yeah, Leo, is there any fighters you think people should look out for in the future? I forgot a phone call, should I turn that off? Any fighters you think we should watch in the future, up and coming Checkmat kids that you think are going to be amazing?
We have to be like Jansen is a pretty good big name, but he's not even like in his peak of his athletes.
Exactly.
So he's gonna be
something special, right?
He's gonna be something very special. He's so he's had a lot.
He's still only 22? 22?
Yeah, he's 22.
So he's still so young. He's a kid that I was like that.
And like in this generation,
is he Brazilian boy?
He's a guy beat Tynan in the world.
And this generation is gonna change the sport that we see, because you have a very good like athlete. You have a that is Jansen, Mika Galvão.
It's changing just how
Tainan Dalpra, there's Tai Rutolo, the Rutolos brother. Those guys, same age, same style, like a lot of like a very similar style. Like those kids, they go for
Exciting, eh? And they're real exciting too, so you can sell it, eh? So they make it like a lot more popular.
And we have a very good, a big fight coming up. Like also would be nice to see Isaac Mitchell and
he was just saying.
Oh, is he going to be on?
and Ty Rudolph.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be
a good
for
fight.
one championship.
Because did they fight at ADCC?
No, they didn't. Different divisions.
Shit, that'll be a good fight, eh?
Yeah, that should be a good fight. That should be a good fight. That's something that
You excited about?
would be nice to see it too. Yeah.
Shit, yeah, that's cool.
All right, well, we're gonna have to cut it short. Next time you come back, Leo, we'll do a longer one. We'll set up more time when John doesn't have to work all day. And we can just organise it
work all day.
Because we could have talked for hours. I think that was like really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Leo. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Nice to meet you,
John.
Thanks for having me.
That's us.
You guys have
Let's
been
go.
training up.